Welcome to the Biz Bash podcast, where we make biz strategy a piece of cake. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Cami, but you might know us better as Eliza Ann Calligraphy and Cami Monet. We want to help you, our fellow stationers, artists, and calligraphers, confidently build a profitable and personality-driven creative biz.
We're here to share our honest-to-goodness advice and actionable strategies for ambitious artists.
So put on your party hat, quit being a procrastinator gator, and let's get this party started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for episode 44 of the Biz Bash podcast. Today, we're super excited to talk about best practices for rest, relaxation, and vacation as a solopreneur. We're obviously going to touch a little bit too on resting and relaxing when you have a team behind you. But I know that for us as solopreneurs, creativepreneurs, people who are a one-woman or one-man show, it can be really tricky and really hard to figure out how to rest and how to break away from everything and take time for yourself. So we're just going to have a fun conversation about that today. And before we get officially started, Cami is going to read a review from one of our amazing listeners.
Yes. Hey guys, it's me. I'm still sick.
Take it all, Cami.
I'm so sorry. So here's a review. This one is from That777. And this review says, gets me thinking so much, 5 stars. It says, I am several years deep into the business, but you can never stop learning. Amen. These gals give a great perspective and have so many great tips. I listen in the car and had to buy a notepad to jot down reminders for me to do in my business. Little things and big things to make a difference in my biz. I especially love the Q and Cake where they answer listener questions, which we all have inevitably asked at some point. Thanks, gals. Yeah. Woo-hoo. Thank you, That777.
Hopefully you know who you are by knowing your iTunes username. But this is the thing that cracks me up is because people literally have used like the same iTunes name from when they first started their iTunes account, like what, more than 10 years ago now? So
yeah, like Elizabeth's is love to laugh.
Yes, it is.
Like LUVT laugh.
LUV2.
LUV2. Sorry. Whatever. LUV2. It's okay. My first AIM screen name was Soccer Guys Are Cute because I had a crush on the soccer player and I wanted to be real subtle about it. So,
oh, Lordy.
You liked it though. And then it was something else weird. So
hustling the soccer players on direct message.
I know. Well, his name was Cameron. I'm Cammy. I thought it would be really cute to be Cam and Cam, you know? So
questionable, but no, I'm just kidding. No, Alex, you'll love hearing this when you listen.
Alex knows all about this story, and he has a similar one to share about a girl named Alex. So it all works out.
Yeah, because I guess Alex is either a girl or guy's name. I do legit know a couple in real life who's Jess and Jesse, though.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, our neighbors at our first place here in Georgia were Jess and Jesse. And we really liked them too. And then they moved out. They had a baby, so they got a house, which I guess makes sense.
That does make sense for sure.
But I still occasionally see her at the Target in Kennesaw, Georgia, because she works at the Starbucks there. But I feel like it's been too long now for me to like go up and be like, hey, how are you? Because I legit don't think she'll remember me. Because like he was the one who always walked the dog. So we always said hi to Jesse, but like we didn't know Jess as well. I don't know. It's a whole thing. I feel like I would just like, at a certain point, you just start like creeping people out, you know? Like
I do that all the time. I just creep people out.
You're like, hey, I remember you from 3 years ago. Do you remember me? We used to live in it. They're like, oh Lord, who is this person?
Like, what? Anyway.
Okay. Off to a great start here.
Off to a really good start. So
basically, I just have like a huge bullet point list of like all the things I do. So there might not be like a perfect rhyme or reason to this episode, but you guys know how we work. We just kind of like, gosh, I really wanted to say shoot the beat really bad, but like but then I was like, oh, we try to keep it family friendly, but you guys know what I mean. Like we're just
gonna keep it cash. We'll keep it cash.
Go for it.
All right. Numero uno. Let's start with number 1.
Okay, that's a good place to start.
Okay, I agree.
Let's start at the very beginning.
I'm getting so slap happy because I just
place to start.
Some Dayquil. What is this song?
Cammy, good Lord. Everybody, Cammy just asked what that song is. Cammy! It's the Sound of Music.
I don't know.
A deer, a female deer. But they say the beginning.
I know that part.
Let's start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Oh my gosh, I need to go bang my head against a wall or something.
I know the rest. I just didn't know the beginning part. I only know the middle. I like starting at the middle. I think that's a very good place to start. What about that? All right.
Fine, go ahead and start at number 8. We'll have it your way.
Oh, you're starting at number 8. Number 8. If you're taking a staycation, make sure you get out of
oh my gosh. Okay,
so
we're starting at the beginning. Oh my gosh. Poor
God.
Cammy, guys. She's like not feeling the best. And so great. I'm so glad you took so much Dayquil. This is excellent.
Oh yeah. Let's do it. All right.
You're gonna have a freaking like Will Smith from Hitch moment where like he has like too much Benadryl and like his whole entire face swells up, which is also just like one of my favorite like movie scenes of all time.
That movie's hilarious. Yeah, I'm like thriving on coffee and Dayquil right now. And bananas. Elizabeth let me have a banana in between podcasts. She's so kind.
Oh my God. You're talking as if I'm like the serious like person who can't like let you have a snack between episodes. I wouldn't got some chocolate, okay? I'm having fun over here too.
Oh, well, aren't we all just having fun? We are resting and relaxing and vacationing. It is so nice right now. But yeah. All right, I'm putting my serious pants back on.
No, it's okay. We like the goofy, silly Cammy too. Okay, well, I'll start with number 1 so you can like recoup for a second.
All right, let me just go ahead, please.
Cammy needs to take 3 deep breaths before we move forward. Okay, so I put as number 1. I think the biggest thing for me is just like learning how to step away from your phone, which is very hard to do. So sometimes this comes down to turning it off, or if you don't want to turn it off fully, because I get it, like some of us have kids or, you know, our parents always want to be in contact with us constantly and they'll like panic if
like your mom will call the FBI if you don't answer your phone. So you can't turn it off.
So the one thing you can do is at least delete Instagram for a while, or I think now Apple even has something, at least I know for the iPhone, I don't know about other phones, where you can like lock apps for a certain amount of time. So like you can't go on Facebook or Instagram or like email. And I don't know where in the settings you would find that.
But y'all are smart people who figured out. I think within Instagram it has some kind of thing too, because Alex he set like a 30-minute thing on himself, even though he's only on there for like, he's like, oh, it shows you like how many minutes you were on. He was like, oh, I was on for 7 minutes yesterday. I'm like, 7 minutes?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, my timer goes off at like 55 minutes because I like to stay under an hour, but it doesn't lock you out after that point. It just is like, you've been on Instagram.
Just makes you feel guilty.
And I'm like, oh, I could stay on a little more. It's fine. But yeah, that's like the biggest thing for me is like, if I get rid of Instagram, I'll unplug a lot better, like even if my phone is still on. And so if you're taking a weekend away or you're going on vacation, like maybe just like unplug for a week, like the world will continue to go on.
Yeah, exactly. I like to just like put my phone at the bottom of my purse where I'll never find it again. That way I ignore it, or like do things that keep my hands busy, you know, like baking, or my mother-in-law would try to teach me how to knit. I'm not very good at that, but anything that keeps my hands busy that I'm not like, oh, let me just grab my phone and scroll through that. So that's really helpful to like stay away from your phone, and turning off your notifications too. If you don't want to like delete Instagram or turn off your phone, you can just turn off your notification.
And I think that's actually a great point too about like the doing something with your hands. Like if you're going somewhere, if you're going on a trip, like make sure you bring some sort of like entertainment or backup. Yeah, exactly. Like a book that's besides just your phone, because I think all of us were like, oh, we'll take my phone and this is what'll keep me entertained in the downtime. But it's like, no, like read a book or like do crafts or like do something else. Do like anything else but look at your phone while you're away, because you want to be able to like unplug and actually like take a chill pill for a second and not deal with all the business things.
Because you're going to get DMs from people being like, where the heck is my mug for Christmas or whatever? And then you're going to get all stressed out and flustered and you don't have time for that. So just don't even look at it. Okay. So number 2, do your very best to tie up the majority of loose ends before you leave on your trip.
Yeah, and this is kind of more for like bigger trips. So if you're going away for like a long weekend, I mean, it's the weekend. Most people aren't working anyways. You might not need to. But if you're like leaving for a week, so like I went to like the Outer Banks for like 10 days in June this summer, and any clients I was working with at the time, I emailed directly to let them know, like, hey, we're not going to be having communication during this time because I'll be gone, but I'll like answer everything immediately as soon as I get back. So it's just like taking care of like those big ticket things, and then maybe setting up like those shop notifications if you need, about like letting customers know when things will ship out, because it'll be like when you get back.
Right. Exactly. Just like taking care of all those little items that just like weigh on you, but you can feel better. You can actually relax knowing, okay, I took care of this. This person knows what's happening. I have this notification going out like automatically. So it's just like, is honestly like so nice to have that in place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And so then the next thing that I have on the list, number 3, and this is kind of like for me, but it's a little bit for all of us, because sometimes it's like the same thing with like a diet, right? If you like go too hardcore, it makes you want to cheat even more. So I put like, allow yourself to check email once a day if you have to. And that's normally like first thing in the morning. So like when I was in the Outer Banks, I would like wake up in the morning. I would like check my email really quick. I would delete a couple things because I don't like coming back to like an overflowing inbox. I like it being like semi-controlled. And I would kind of like get a gauge on like what's sitting in there waiting for me. And then I would move on with the rest of my day, and that would be it. And I wouldn't look at my email anymore. And that helps me like retain my sanity. Well, I almost said sanity, but my sanity a little bit. And I actually like booked a client though while I was on vacation.
Yeah, I think it's almost impossible to be like, I'm just not going to check my email for 10 days. Like, I do not think that's a realistic thing to have. But I checking email once a day. I also like to just like delete things that I know are like superfluous as they come in. That way, you're right. Like when you get back to your inbox, it's not like super overwhelming. But just because you're checking your email doesn't mean you have to respond to email. So like keep that in mind. You can just like check it and be like, oh, okay, I have a handle on what's happening in my business, but without having to like, go into full on take care of everything mode. So check and maybe not react to your email.
Yes, I agree. I think that's perfect, because one of my points in here, oh my gosh, is number 4. That makes sense why I put it number 4, is set up autoresponders for your email inboxes, because then you're keeping expectations set. So if at least the people who are emailing you know you're out of town and they're not going to get a response immediately, it's a lot easier to manage. I've heard people say before that like an autoresponder isn't necessary, it's annoying, whatever, but like, no, I always put one up. Even if I'm out of town like 2 days in the middle of a week, I put one up.
I love autoresponders when I'm gone. I feel like it's like my first line of defense. Like I really like, that's how I think of it. I'm like, yes, no one can touch me right now because I have my autoresponder on. Like I feel so like safe. I don't know what it is, but I love it. It's so great. And you can put like links to like where you want them to go. If like, oh, you want to shop here, if like I can't get to this now, and like just reassuring too. Like, I don't know. I love autoresponders. I think they're fantastic. Like I sometimes want to put it on for all the time, but I know that's a little bit much. So.
Some people do have them on all the time, and that drives me a little bit nuts, but I get that everyone runs their business differently. So some people like setting those expectations like immediately. But if you are going to do that, try to figure out a way that like the contacts who are reaching out to you a lot, like don't always get it. I think there's settings for that in Gmail.
Where they don't get it like 18 times. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so number 5, we already kind of touched on, because like instead of like closing your Etsy shop or like doing all those things, you can just provide a notification letting people know things will ship out later. Because doesn't it like hurt you if you close your shop for vacation?
Yeah, I would not put it on vacation mode. I just feel like it's a bad choice. I just feel like it's really hard to like bounce back from that with your like getting your stuff seen again. So I personally would not do that. I know some people do, but I do feel like it like affects your algorithm rankings later on.
Yeah, I know. I'd agree, because it basically like removes your listings for the time being. Like people can't search them or find them or anything. And so that like messes stuff up. Like,
and if someone is like super upset that they're not going to be able to get something, you can just cancel and refund the order and be like, I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be able to fulfill it here. I hope you find someone else who can, or whatever. Like it's really going to be okay. So no big deal. That's like worst case scenario. So
Then the next one, I'm just kind of like plowing through these, so feel
That's
free
fine.
to like step in. As I actually said, like as a solopreneur, you can like hire someone to like babysit your email if you're gone for like a long time. So like let's say you're like going to Europe to backpack for like 2 or 3 weeks. Might not be a bad idea to have somebody like keep an eye on it, and maybe they send you like one like email update like every 3 days to be like, here's the important things that came through, and you can like touch base on that. So this would be somebody you have like a prior relationship with. Like I know like the girl Madison that I've used as my VA for a couple of different things in the past would probably be more than happy for me to like babysit my email for like a flat fee while I'm gone or something like that. So that is an option if you feel like you like need additional help.
Yeah, if you feel like you need an actual person in there, not just an autoresponder to take care of things, that would definitely be a good idea. I agree.
Mm-hmm. All right, why don't you go ahead and read 7?
Okay, number 7 is to focus on your family and the people in front of you instead of what you should be doing in your business life.
Silence. Because you like finished reading it and then it was just like silence.
I just thought you were gonna weigh in.
It's pretty
straightforward. Like, all right, I'll do that.
Well, I've noticed that like when I'm like deep into activities with families, whether it's like puzzles or movie night or like holiday traditions or whatever it is, like I don't even think about checking my phone. Like it like stays up in my bedroom, which actually is another great tip that I forgot to put on here, is that like keep your phone in like a designated room. So like when I was in the Outer Banks, like I kept my phone in my bedroom. Like I didn't bring it with me out to the beach. I didn't like bring it to me upstairs during mealtime. It stayed in my room and I just like didn't touch it unless I intentionally like remembered to go back to like look at something or text somebody or whatever.
Yeah, totally. I think this comes back to when we talked about Katie from Hosanna Revival about intentional rest, where you're just doing so many things, like so much awesome stuff that you don't even like think about. You don't even care to think about your other business things, you know, like you're so distracted by having intentional rest that you're like, oh, my phone, what, who? I'm busy right now with my fan. Like, you know what I mean? So like, just allowing yourself to like really get immersed into that and like fully enjoy the present instead of worrying about the future. It's very easy to do that as a small business owner. We all know it's like you're always thinking, like your brain never shuts off. So you have to force it, especially Elizabeth,
especially me. Yeah, because my brain is always going. Hey there, fellow stationers. Are you creating custom invitations and still sending a lackluster contract that's hacked together with Google searches and generic templates? We've got you.
We've created a custom stationery contract written for stationers by stationers, and it is lawyer reviewed and approved. #LegalRockstar. The custom stationery contract covers every stationery snafu, protects you and your client's interests, and sets up an expectation of professionalism. We've combined our previous contracts as well as years of experience to bring you a contract that covers your booty and your biz. So become a put-together pro and breathe a sigh of relief knowing that you have a contract that is easy to understand and avoids confusing legal jargon.
The custom stationery contract is only $227, which is half of what you'd expect to pay anywhere else, and it's written by 2 gals who have seen it all.
Spoiler alert, it's us.
It's time for you to do things right. Go to bizbirthdaybash.com/contract to purchase and download your copy today. And the next tip we actually put in because if you're taking a staycation, which sometimes people do, they're just like, I'm going to take work off for like a couple days and just like relax. Then you need to make sure that you do have some sort of like routine or like planned activities or doing a little something so that your mind isn't like begging you to pick up your laptop, because there's nothing worse than planning a staycation and then like working the entire time.
I know. Like I was thinking about this the other day, like when I had an actual job and then when you like get your days off to like stay home, like how fun it was just to be like, I'm home. Oh my gosh, I'm having a staycation. And now I'd be like, well, what am I doing? Like, I'm being so unproductive right now. I might as well like do something productive and like get your laptop out. And even though you're like home and you're like technically are calling it a staycation, you're still like working. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think this one is very hard. This one is hard. Challenge level 10 to take a staycation and not work, especially when like some of the work you do is fun, where you're like, oh, I'm just going to design something fun for myself, but then it turns into like designing a product, and then you're like, wait, hold on. You like trick yourself, like that is 100% me.
Yeah, I have to like, I really do have my like closed door policy type of thing that like even in the evening when I'm just like trying to relax and unwind, like closing my office doors can help a ton. Otherwise, I just like wander back in and I like sit down at my computer just to like do something for a second. And then I'm like, oh, it's been like an hour. What am I doing? Like,
yeah, the fact that my computer is in a whole nother little my office or whatever, and because I used to do everything on my laptop, so it was very hard to like shut it down. But now I'm like, well, I have to go in there and be in the corner by myself, and Alex is out here. Like, I don't want to do that. So it's very, very much easier for me to like not go in there and work versus when I had my laptop. It was so easy to just like be sitting next to him on the couch and like working at the same time because I hate working on my laptop now. I feel like my eyeballs are going to bleed, so I can't do it.
Because what sizes was your laptop? It's like the 13-inch, right? Or smaller?
Yeah.
Okay. Because now I'm considering, if you guys are in the A to Z directory Facebook group, you saw this. Because now I'm considering buying a laptop, but I would get like the 16-inch because I don't think I could do smaller than that. I just want to be able to go to a coffee shop some days and work and not have my iPad be stupid because I've given it like more than a year. It's been like a year and a half now of like trying to like use my iPad when I'm out of the house and it does not function the way I want a laptop to. But then I am worried. I'm like, oh, well, if I could like work in bed or like work from the couch, will that like make my work-life boundary like way worse if I have a laptop?
Probably.
But I already have an iPad. So if I wanted to, I could be sitting on the couch with my iPad checking email, but I like don't really do that when I'm resting. So I just check my phone.
Yeah, exactly. See, now I kind of want to get an iPad because I'm like, oh, I could like get Procreate, except I'd probably suck at it. But I don't know. Why do I need that? It just seems like it'd be fun for like my little sketch process, you know? Like instead of doing
for sketching,
paper,
it would be really fun.
Like, I feel like that would be really helpful and like save a step of like sketch paper and then scanning it and whatever. But I don't know. Do I really need that? I don't know. I'm torn. I'm so torn.
You don't know if you need it until you like have it and you get to play with it. That's what's so hard because like I'm really glad that I have my iPad. I love it for what I can use it for because like Procreate and like the line drawing assistance and like a couple things I use, like even the symmetry. God, did I say that right or am I saying it wrong again?
Symmetry. Yeah.
Oh, I said it right. Jeez, I'm having a thing today where like I said something out loud like super nonsensically to Will yesterday, which like makes me a little worried for my health if I'm like not speaking correctly. But everything is fine, you guys. I just have a garbled brain sometimes. But like there's tools on the iPad that are super useful and super helpful. So I have like no regrets getting it, but I'm like it does not function in the way that like a full-blown like computer or a laptop does. And that's what drives me insane. Because like if I want to make edits to my website or even stuff in Dubsado on my laptop is like impossible and makes me want to die.
Oh yeah, I see. It's just I don't know. There's so many different factors to consider. Oh, and they're so expensive. Jeez. Okay.
I know they're so expensive. And I was in the Apple store the other day, and I literally like was typing on one of their laptops, and then I touched the screen, and I was like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot because I am used to being able to like touch my iPad, and I was like, I really hope nobody saw that. But I think people like do that all the time. Like kids anymore, kids will touch any screen on anything because they think it operates the same as like an iPhone. But sorry, once again, like big tangent, but all about like being able to like unplug, and it's just like really hard, especially if you're trying to like rest at home.
And that actually see, this wasn't super tangential because number 9 is if you're going to relax, maybe don't take your computer. Boom.
Yeah, boom.
Basically, all technology is the devil, and you should never use it when you're relaxing. So is the takeaway here.
Yeah, I think like when my hubby and I plan to go to like a nice beach resort, or next time we do that, like I wouldn't take my computer or my iPad or anything. I would take like my phone and some books and a couple other things, and I just like wouldn't even bother to do anything.
Well, I always end up taking my laptop because I'm like, what if something crazy happens and I need it and I never use it? So it's just there for like insurance for me. I think I need that.
Emotional reassurance.
Emotional reassurance that if something crazy does go down, I can fix it. Because I hate doing stuff on my phone. Like I hate typing with my thumbs. I hate responding to DMs. I hate emailing. I hate everything on my phone, basically, except for like scrolling. So if like anything happened with my website, I would definitely want to have my laptop there for that. just like emotional reassurance. And see, maybe that's an issue. Maybe I need to go to therapy as well.
Well, the great thing for me is like so I'm going home and visiting my family in Colorado for Christmas, and like Will's coming too. Like we're both going, but like my family has like a computer station basically downstairs where we did all our studying in high school. So if I really needed a computer, I could like log on and like put in my passwords and stuff there. So that I guess is emotional reassurance for me. But I know for you, when you go to like Gatlinburg, like your family does not have like a Mac computer.
They do have a computer. It's not a Mac. Okay, I swear my parents' computer is like the only one left in the world that still gets viruses like all the time. They're like, we got a virus. We had to call the computer man. He had to come fix it. I'm like, why don't you just get a new computer? I don't understand. My mom's like, Cammie, this hard drive is brand new. It's the latest model. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, it drives me crazy. So I can't use it. But so yeah, I have to have my laptop. At least we have Wi-Fi. At least there's that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where were we? Number 10, in what situations is a crisis really a crisis? Because sometimes I think we definitely in this mindset where we like blow everything out of proportion and we think the client's super mad and they're totally not. They're just asking a question and we go off in a tizzy and we're like, oh my God, I have to respond right away. Like they're going to like not think that I'm doing my job. And like, they're probably like, they usually say in the email, like, I know you're probably with your family for Christmas right now, so don't worry about getting back to me. But this question, and we instantly panic, even though you know they probably understand because they literally just told you.
Yep.
So don't panic over client emails. It's really going to be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of the mindset that there is like no like crisis situation that can't wait, you know? Like, yeah. It's one of those things that if you're doing a good job of tying up loose ends before you leave, and you're making sure that you don't have some sort of crazy deadline that's supposed to happen while you're in town, like you'll be fine. Like, don't leave though if you have a wedding one weekend and they're expecting all these like day of items. Like that's on just you to like plan ahead and block off travel days and like not book yourself during those times, which is a different point. So I won't get too ahead.
I feel like that is actually the next point. Oh, maybe no, it's not. Oh, yeah. Well, it's actually like the next 3 points, basically. So if you have clients you're working with one-on-one, notify them prior to your vacation that you'll be in touch until whatever date. So yeah, definitely let your current clients know that you're going to be out of the office, out of the studio. That way they know what to expect. I even put my like dates that I know I'm going to be gone on our timeline together so they can see like, this is when I'm out of the office. I put their dates that they're going to be gone on the timeline too, so I can see when they're gone, and everyone is just much happier, like just knowing, just over communicate a ton basically. And they're usually like, they're fine with it. Like you're allowed to take vacation, but it's just really nice to give them a heads up too.
Yeah, you're super nice to like even put that stuff on the timeline because I don't bother.
Yeah, well, for me, it makes it really helpful, and it's helpful for me. Like I need that, so I can be like, oh yeah, don't like plan for their ship date to be this because you're going to be gone.
Yeah, that's like, very true because of the way you organize your timelines and like print them out. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, so I like having that. Which is perfect for number 13. Add your vacation and travel days to your calendar.
Elizabeth, wait, you skipped number 12.
Oh, yeah, I skipped number 12. Sorry. Well, these are all
basically what I kind of already said. It's number 12 is just that if you're going to be gone like a longer time, don't take projects during that time, which I already kind of said. Okay, so now you can do number 13.
Yeah, don't take projects that are going to be due around that time. Add your vacation and travel days to your calendar. Like Elizabeth will block them out in huge yellow blocks. We have our shared calendar so we can see who's gone when. But yeah, I have them on the time, like I mentioned on the timeline for my clients. And then on your calendar as well, because if you're just like at a glance looking at it, it makes it so much easier to plan out your schedule of like what you can actually take on and affect your workload.
Yep. Because if you have something that has like a 6-week turnaround time or timeline, but you're gone 2 of those weeks, you just gave yourself 4 weeks to do it. So gotta be a little more strategic there, for especially for those vacations that you like know well enough in advance, which I basically know like most of my vacations for 2020 already, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I feel like mine are still kind of up in the air because like we plan our snowboard trip like based on when the snow is. So it's going to be like last minute, but we'll see. It'll be fine. Yeah. And do you want to read the last one?
Yeah, sure. So last one's number 14. And if you're going away for a long weekend, sometimes you just have to be okay with the fact there are some things that aren't quite done because you can't tie up everything perfectly, and they will get your attention when you return. And like we have said before, just if anything, be upfront with your current clients with the big projects, and the rest will sort itself out. Like if you're just going to be out of town for a little bit, just like unplug and relax, and everything will be waiting when you return. And like Cami said, if you have some furious person on Etsy or your Shopify store or whatever that's like really ticked that their thing didn't ship out within 5 hours, like you can always refund them and it will be fine.
Yeah, it's really okay. Like everything becomes way more of a bigger deal to us, and like I always say, in the grand scheme of life, does this really matter? And I know that makes our business sound like very trivial, and like all the little things do add up to like, make a successful business. But also like you're only human and you have to give yourself time to rest and let yourself have a vacation. Like it's totally okay. It's very hard to take a vacation as a solopreneur and like actually take the time off. So you have to really be very forceful with yourself and like be the demanding boss that says, no, you're going to take these 3 days off and like force it because you're going to come back so much more refreshed too. I mean, if you're just, grinding yourself down, you'll never be able to like move forward. You're just going to keep continually spinning out basically.
Yep. Absolutely. 100%. I have to say, I feel like when you went on your ski trip this year, and there might have been one other trip, and then when I went to the Outer Banks, like both of us did a pretty freaking good job of like unplugging, because for two people that are in contact with each other like constantly, like we didn't like talk much during those trips. And then it's always so funny because we get back and like we're not even in the same place, but we'll like call each other and we'll be like, I missed you so much, like because I didn't get to talk to you like every single day. It was so funny.
I know, it is always very funny because we're like, what do I do? Elizabeth's gone. Like, what the heck do I do now?
It feels like very lonely. It feels very lonely when like one of us is out of town and the other one isn't, because it's like, oh my gosh, like what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm like, well, who do I call and aggravate for the next hour? Like, oh, I know. Seriously. But yeah, we do a pretty good job of unplugging on vacation, or like trying to at least.
Yeah, I've learned how to do it a lot better over the years. It takes some time, but at the end of the day, it's exactly what you said. Like if you unplug, you come back feeling so much like more ready, I guess, to jump back into everything.
Yeah, exactly. You have a renewed sense of like your purpose with your business and you're just excited. Yeah. You don't want to be like dreading it. I feel like it also helps you avoid burnout,
Oh, yeah.
To like take those breaks.
Yeah, that's why it's even good to just like honor your weekends and try not to work through those. Like if this is your full-time gig, like doing something creative, doing something in the wedding industry, or it doesn't even have to be the wedding industry. Like if you're your own boss, like try to honor your weekends. And that alone, like those couple of days, they're like built in for a reason, guys, because like we need to rest. We need to be better at it.
I'm very good at ignoring everyone on the weekends.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely shut it down on the weekend.
Yep. I've gotten much better. I've even gotten better too. Like certain emails from like certain people that I'm like okay with, like even when I'm working, I'm okay with letting them sit there for a few days, because I'm like, this isn't like that urgent that it needs an immediate response. Whereas I used to like literally be on top of it to respond to everything immediately. So I think it's been like good for me to kind of like reset that standard a little bit of like, no, it might take 3 days for me to like get back to this person, and that's okay. Then it makes it really easy for me to take a weekend, because I'm not even concerned about 2 days.
Yeah, much better. See, everything works out, you guys. So with all that being said, we hope you guys have a very restful and relaxing holiday season for the rest of the year. And we want you to please leave us a rating and review if you are enjoying the podcast. It helps us so much to have new listeners find us. We can keep continuing to do this for you guys for free. And if you have any other questions, you can ask them at bizbirthdaybash.com/Q&Cake.
Yay, awesome. And then one other thing, it's kind of crazy, but this is actually like our last like full episode for 2019, because next week will be Q and Cake, which is kind of like its own genre of episode. And then like the very last day of the year, I'm trying to put together a blooper reel, because there's been some really funny things. We'll see if that happens, but like the episode on the last day of the year, the 31st, will not be like traditional full episode. So this point, we're kind of like winding down, and we're super excited to bring it for 2020 and to introduce you guys to a bunch more amazing guests that we already have lined up, and to just keep talking about our wedding stationery experience and products and all that good stuff.
Yes, this has been such a good year, you guys. Oh my gosh. But anyway, we're going to go chill and rest and relax because it's the holiday season, and we love you guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, Elizabeth here. Just wanted to hop in and talk about one of Cami and I's amazing resources called the A to Z directory. I know that all of us have thought at some point, how did she do that, or how did she make that? And maybe you just don't know where to start and how the heck to produce the product that you've dreamt up. Well, the A to Z directory is the missing puzzle piece in your biz, and it is actually a yearly membership that is a one-stop shop to every supplier you need to create anything from wedding invitations to coasters, mugs, napkins, greeting cards, and more. And we even have resources for drop shippers, where to produce a bunch of different things. And essentially, we just want to help you guys search less and create more. This resource is a really great deal at $147 per year. It also includes access to our private Facebook group, where you can ask any questions you have and get the answers you need at the drop of a hat, which is awesome. It's a really great community over there. So head over to bizbirthdaybash.com/directory to get more information and to sign up today.